Yes, sir. What is good? Welcome to my first tutorial. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Got some heat for you today. As you can tell by the title, today we are sampling G Herbo, Drake, Jay-Z. Y'all know the vibes. So if you want to skip right to the video, go ahead and go to 120. I think that's where I start cooking up and adding drums. I have this whole little part right here sped up and muted because I don't want to get a copyright strike for playing the sample without making any substantial alterations to it. So all I'm doing right here is just chopping it up and making sure everything hits on the right beat and just figuring out what I could do with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a snippet of the final beat so you get an idea of the final product I'm working towards in the video. Excuse me, and exactly how I'm able to get there. So I'll go ahead and shut up right here and just roll the clip. So that's the beat. You guys kind of get the point right there. If you want me to do a separate tutorial on like chopping up samples and that whole process, let me know, because that would take a whole another 30 minutes itself. But right here I'm gonna get into the drums. Start off with some hi-hats, snares, and a kick.
Day 2.
So right here we have a pretty solid foundation laid. Artists could get on this and start flowing right now, so I'm gonna try to keep it simple and just throw in like some open hats and some perks and stuff and some ear candy. Alright, so I'm gonna speed this part up too. Right here the beat, like as far as like all the elements, like perks, hi-hat, snare, like etc, like all that stuff is there. So now I'm gonna start seeing what I could do to the sample itself. I'm gonna start like chopping it up. You see me here just kind of chopping up different parts. I'll try reversing different parts, and then I'm gonna start arranging the song. So right here what I'm doing is I'm trying to create 2 sections of 4 bars each, just so you know it's like a 16 bar verse. So what I did was I just copy and pasted over one section by highlighting it and then doing Control B, which will duplicate whatever you select. or you can do shift click and then drag it over. It really doesn't matter which one you do, but after I do that, then I'm gonna add in like some of the final touches, like my tag, some risers and stuff, so the verses hit different, and a bass. So after I finish up this part right here, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding in a bass. There's two ways you can do this. One, if you have Serato sample, you can just load that up, export your file that you're working on, and then load it back into Serato sample to see what key you're in, and then from there, just kind of go by the root notes. Or you can do the FL keys. You just pull up FL keys and just hit a note that's in the higher octave until it matches up with the sample. And another way you can do it is grab an 808 and just kind of fish around for the right note in the 6th and 7th octaves. Either way works. I know some people who load up Newtone, which is a plugin that's native to FL Studio, and then Newtone shows you the root notes, so you can do it that way too. But in either case, I'm gonna use Serato sample here and start adding in a bass and some 808s. So you see I have Contact right here opened up, and I'm using the J M bass. You can, any bass usually works. You just gotta listen around, pick some that you like, I guess. And you can see I'm in the wrong octave right here. I should be in the 3rd, but I was just trying to see if the song was actually in D minor, because that's what Serato sample told me, but it didn't sound right. So that's another thing. If they tell you something and it doesn't sound right, always go back and check. And so Right here, what I'm doing is I just built a D minor chord with FL keys, so I'm just seeing if it fits with the sample, and I'm pretty sure it did. So I think we are in D minor. It's safe to say we're in D minor, so I'm gonna go ahead and punch in the 808 pattern first, and then kind of do the bass after. Alright, so that was a pretty solid 808 pattern. You can see I used the same notes from that D minor chord that I played out when I was just checking the key. And so, yeah, and then sticking to that D for the most part, but utilizing the F. And I think I threw in the A and the C somewhere. And so now I'm gonna go in and use those same notes and try to come up with a similar similar bass pattern. So right here, we got the bass down. I just used the same D note and just repeated it just to add, you know, extra layer to that kick. Didn't go too crazy with the bass. I figured leave that up to the 808. And so I went into the mixer track and I sidechained the kick to the bass and the 808 just so that every time they hit, like when they hit together, you hear the kick punching through. So it's not too much clashing going on. So that's what I'm doing right here. And I think as far as mixing goes, that's like about it, other than putting a flangus and a soft clipper and just a simple EQ on the sample itself. So if y'all want to say hello to my cousin real quick.
Hello.
That was my cousin Israel. He's sitting up here watching me make this video. But anyways, so I'm gonna speed this part up right here. All I'm doing is just kind of making some adjustments to the arrangement, just minor stuff, just tweaking a little, tweaking some notes in the 808 pattern, adding some slide notes, just some stuff to kind of spice it up. So right here you see me adding in a slide note to the 808, kind of utilizing those same notes that were in that D minor chord, and also in the D minor 7th, the D, F, A, and C. And then right here, just doing some basic leveling here, assigning all these to some free mixer tracks so I could go ahead and drop some effects on them. But yeah, that's basically it. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think.
Like the video.
Yes, like the video. Please like the video.
Ring that bell for
Yes, sir.
notifications.
Yes, sir. And also, if you want me to do a video on chopping, that's gonna take a little longer. So let me know if you guys want that. But I can definitely put something together for you. Put something together for you then. All right, here we go.